So we're here with Nate. Nate what?
Nate Hayden.
Okay, cool. And you're from Denver.
Yeah, Denver, Colorado.
It's always odd when you're here in Germany because you hear all these different languages, primarily languages I don't speak. And then all of a sudden, I talk to you and I go, hey, sweet, an American.
No, definitely. But
cool. Anyway.
definitely.
So you have After Pablo.
Yes.
And this is about After Pablo Escobar.
Pablo Escobar in the 90s was killed. America thought that was going to somehow stop, the drug war in some way, but it ended up just changing leadership. And this game is fighting for the new leadership positions in the drug market.
So it's primarily an economic game?
It's primarily an economic game.
Okay.
There's battling in it, but you're really just trying to make the game function using the money that you make by selling drugs. So this is the economy game based on crime economy.
Okay, cool. And it's 2 to how many players?
2 to 4.
2 to 4. How many minutes?
And, about 90 to 120.
Okay,
and,
cool. And you're selling it here at the show.
Showing
you have
half
almost
of my
nothing
stuff,
left.
Half here and half at home.
Okay.
I just made 140 copies. So.
Okay.
And,
cool.
Cool. And at the beginning of the game, you're gonna get these are cartel cards. You're gonna get 2 of these, and I'm gonna get 2. And then we're gonna populate each one of these sections with more cartel cards. You can't look at the back of these cards because there's information on the back of each of these cards. And we each get a gorilla card. So our starting hand's 3 cards and a final gorilla card's placed there. So throughout the game, before we begin the game, we each take one of our influence cubes. These are influence cubes, and place one in Mexico, and one in Colombia, and also one in our own personal DEA favor folder. And I'll be gray. In a 2-player game, because there's 2 players not playing, we put these dummy guys in there.
Little area control thing going on here.
Area control.
Yeah.
Also, we each begin with a single assassin in both Mexico and Colombia, and that's our kind of beginning hand and beginning stuff to deal with. Throughout the game, you'll be conducting business on these boards. The boards represent different sections. This is Colombia, this is Mexico, and this is the border to the U.S. When you finally cross the border, you're going to have to sell cocaine in the USA, which is just this strip here of just American cities in the USA.
Okay.
And so it's just represented by that strip. We'll be conducting actions. Let me see here. You can take this as a little reference.
See that, guys? I caught it.
And there you go.
Cool.
For just different references. The game is a victory point game. We will be playing a certain amount of turns. In a 2-player game, so it would go for 16 rounds. How it functions is I would get an action, and then you would get an action, and then we'll have a score, and then we'll move forward to another round. I have an action, you have an action, then we score, and we'll keep going that way. And when we get to these zones here, we kind of have an adjustment of the board, which is a quick adjustment of the board. And we have another 4 turns, and then adjustment of the board, and it keeps going that rhythm till the end of the game. On your turn, you just get 1 action. The actions you can choose from are one of these 5 actions here.
Okay, they have a nice little reference card. Everybody can see that. Cool.
It's business is 1 action. Cocaine, buying cocaine, having a war with another player, crossing the border, and selling to the USA. You just choose one of these actions. So the most common and kind of the heart of the game is the business actions. You can choose either a cartel business action or an influence action. Anyone you choose, you get 5 action points to work with. If you choose the cartel action, that's just buying these cartel cards. You get 5 action points. This is your associate pawn. You'll be flying around from airport to these different sections of the world, country. and buying cards. Each card you want to buy is an action point. You have 5 to work with. So if you started here, it'd be like 1, 2. Flying is an action point. 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
You then pay for your cards. The cost is this
Up
green
in that
number.
corner.
So you'd pay $7 for these cards. Any ones with stars, you have to auction.
Okay.
You auction them as a lot, and it will begin with the player to your left. They get the first opportunity. It's a once around. In a 2-player game, the auction isn't as dynamic, but it's actually still not too bad. And you would get your choice, and then me being the current player to get the final choice. And then you take the cards in your hand. You can only have 7 cards in your hand at a time. And that's basically the cartel business action. The cartel influence actions is dealing with these cubes up here. That's the same way. Each cube you purchase, gray. So each cube you purchase is an action point. So if I started here, it'd be like 1, 2, let's say 3, and then flying is also an action point. 4, and 5. Buying cubes into this flag, the cost of the cube is whatever that cube is entering the flag. So this is the 5th cube, that's going to be $5. The 6th cube is going to be $6, so that's $11. This is buying personal assassins.
Yeah.
So this would be $4 for a 4-gun assassin. Flying, and this is your own personal DEA folder. The difference here is you're just paying for what cube that is entering that folder. So this is the 2nd cube, so it's $2. And that would be the influence action. When you buy more than anyone else in a country, when you have the actual majority, you become the leader of that country, and you place your leader card in that country. And both it works the same both in Mexico and Colombia. So that would be the influence action. The next action you can do on your turn is buying cocaine. To buy cocaine, you just fly to Colombia and purchase cocaine. If you are the leader of Colombia, you get it for free. Each cocaine costs $1. You can buy a maximum of 5. So if I was the leader,
so you're using the white cubes for cocaine?
Yes, the white resource.
That's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
Why white?
Well, it could be yellowish, but I don't know.
Okay.
But the white. So you can buy up to 5. If you own the country, you get it for free.
Okay.
Let's say you owned it, and I would pay you the money. And if nobody owned it, you just pay the bank.
Okay. Really, you pay me if I own it? Nice. Okay.
Yes.
That sounds.
You own the crop.
Wicked powerful.
The next action is war action. These areas can get rather congested and pretty expensive to buy into.
I'll bet.
And so you might want to kill some people to enter into those areas. So in this case here,
Why
say,
not?
if I wanted to war, I can only war in Mexico or Colombia. I just fly my pawn over to the area and choose a color to fight. Your color has to be in there. I can't just say I want to fight you.
Yeah.
And I have to be in there also. I can't just fight. I have to be represented. To fight, we just play cards from our hand. So you play these gun cards. I'd be the attacker. I'd play it first, possibly. I'd play first. I'd play these gun cards, and I'd also say I want to use this assassin. I would spend all that, so that'd be 4 guns plus 4. So I'd aiming 8 guns at you. And then as a defender,
That sounds bad.
it does sound bad.
Yeah. I don't know how to play the game, but I would go with bad.
It would be bad.
Yes.
It would be bad. And then you have the opportunity. Oh, sorry.
Oh, this? Oh. You have to wear this mic too? Do you get mine? Just no.
Hello.
Actually, we're just.
And then you also have the opportunity to play guns back at me, and we compare our values. Whoever has the lower value loses and must lose cubes out of the flag for what the difference is between the 2 values. So if I played 8 guns and you played 6, you'd have to lose 2 cubes.
Okay.
If you lose all the cubes, you don't have to play any guns. But if you do, you have to lose all your cubes. And if you lose all your cubes, you gain a weakness chip. And this weakness chip goes against you at the end of the game.
Okay. So you shot me, and I've got a scar to show it.
Sort of, yes. Means you
got a
screwed
limp.
up that war. If you're the attacker and you won, you would receive 2 command points at that time, and you'd also gain an influence in that flag.
Nice.
If you were the defender and won, you would just gain 1 command point.
Okay.
So that's war. The other action is crossing the border. Eventually, you're going to have to cross the border because cocaine money is the best money to make in the game.
Obviously.
So eventually, you're going to want to cross the border. And I forgot to set this part up. There'll be these smuggling tokens at the throughout the game. This represents the perfect smuggling combination across the border. It's a variety of just different people and how to use them. When you cross the border, you play cards from your hand with these symbols on the bottom, hopefully matching the different tokens.
So we have boats and airplanes and mules
human trafficking,
and,
yes.
you hide it in a truck.
For everyone you have, so say I had these, I would have three of the combinations, 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
I would have crossed 3 cocaine, but I have to cross everything, so I must risk crossing the other 2s. For the risk, I must flip the card over. If it's a police car, I lose 1 cocaine back to stock, and I lose a piece from the my own pieces to be arrested.
Right.
If I flip it and it's
So now, actually, hang on a second. Well, what you're using over there, that deck, is this the back?
Yeah.
But the backs are different.
Yes, there's.
So you're looking at the face-up card.
You can
rather
never
than...
look at the back. Yeah, you're looking at the face-up card.
Interesting.
So you have to go. You have to do 5. So you screwed up that one. That one goes away.
Right.
You must do the other one. You flip it. It's safe. It's a safe alley. There's ways to alleviate that by buying DEA to alleviate the luck.
That's
in that
not surprising. Saw that coming. All right.
So that'd be crossing the border. If you can cross using all 5 symbols, you gain 5 victory points. If you cross safely but don't use all 5 symbols, just happen to cross safely using DEA and just other means,
you get 1.
you just get 1. If that was your last action, the next action you must do is sell. So you get to the USA with whatever product you have, and you sell. The different color on these things are your player colors. Let's see, your red. So this is yours. Anything, this isn't a good example for you. Let's start with this on here.
That's the one.
Yeah. Each one of these colors represents a distributor. So if it's your color, that means it's an absolutely.
You mean a dealer?
A distributor.
Okay.
A dealer also. I mean, in the end.
Hey. Calm down a little
It's
bit.
fine. And so this means an absolutely trustworthy distributor / dealer. You trust him completely. You know him absolutely. These wilds are also very trustworthy. You absolutely trust them.
Okay.
You sell to what you can. So in this case here, you would sell to this guy. You place the cube on the highest valued token and collect that money.
Okay.
And so here you'd make 18.
10 through 8.
So $27, but you must sell everything. So the rest you risk. And you can look at it, whether they're going to be cops on the other side based on this little thing on the bottom here. This means there's 2 of this card, 1 of them is good. This is 3 of this card, 1 of them is good.
I see.
And you make your choice of what you want to do. So say you want to sell to that guy.
I see. So I do that.
You flip it over, it's safe. If it was a cop, the same thing would happen. You'd lose a cocaine plus a piece to the jail.
Okay.
There's ways to alleviate that luck with DEA as well.
All right.
If you can sell all 5, you get 2 victory points. If you sell what you have, but you had less than 5 at the beginning of the turn, you make 1 victory point.
All right.
So that's the primary actions. And throughout the game, throughout your actions, you can also do these extra special abilities. Each card has a special ability on the bottom, and you can just play these special abilities, but you have to discard the card if you do so.
Okay.
These do not take an action; they're all described here, and so on and so forth. As part of your whatever you want to do. Another thing you can do during your turn is use DEA favors. When you buy these things, you can spend them for certain favors. The menu for those favors are here. So for paying 1 cube, you can get a safe deal in the US. If you flip it over and it's a cop, you can make it safe.
Yeah.
You can redraw a smuggling card if you are smuggling.
Yeah.
You have to take the effects of the second card. Those that are put in court, you can push them up 1 space in the court system. If they are in this acquittal box, they can get pushed out back into your hand.
Arrest, trial, acquittal.
Yes.
There's no going to jail. That's not an option.
Well, at the end, it is sort of it's considered jail.
Okay.
You can spend 2 cubes to having a complete extra action, one of the 5 actions, or spend 2 cubes. I forgot to mention this, but the DEA influence track, you can push this forward or backward 2 spaces. I forgot to mention this. When you cross the border, you have to discard the bottom 2 tokens, slide these up, and add 2 more tokens. After you've done that, you have to count the lightning bolts. And this represents the DEA working on cases to crush your cartel.
Okay.
And you advance on the DEA track the number of spaces as there are lightning bolts.
And then you turn back around.
Yeah. If it lands on the red space, whoever the leader of Mexico and Colombia must lose 1 influence to jail.
Okay.
So in this case, with this one, you can spend 2 cubes to move this forward or backwards 2 spaces.
Gotcha.
Or you can spend 2 cubes to search a hand if you want to look at someone's hand to see how many guns they might have before you fight them. And the last thing you do is you can spend 3 cubes to arrest somebody.
Okay.
So that's using DEA influence. The other things you can do on your turn is just sell your cocaine to Mexico.
Okay.
You just get $2 per cube, and you can borrow money. If you've run out of money, you can borrow money, but you can take $5 and collect 1 weakness chip.
Okay.
So that's everything you can do in the game. After you've we've both done a turn. At the end of a season, we score points. Whoever owns Mexico gets 2 points. Whoever owns Colombia, 1 point. And you also have the ability to purchase points for $10, 1 point. For 22, and for 30, you can buy 4.
Cool.
At the very end of the game, you get victory points. Whoever owns Mexico at the end of the game gets 2. Owns Colombia gets 1. Most money 2. Least money -2.
Okay.
The collections of these chips add up. So -1, -2, -3, -4.
Oh, so like
That's
1 is
-3.
1. That's 3.
Yeah.
Next one is +4.
Yeah. Well, actually +3.
Or +3.
Yeah.
+4.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay.
And then any guy in jail is -1. So that's kind of your jail at the end.
Okay. So again, 2 to 4.
Yes.
2 hours, you said?
1.5 to 2.
1.5 to 2.
It's a
Okay.
fairly more
Best
rule-heavy
with-
game.
Best with 3?
That's actually not bad with 2, and it doesn't seem bad with any.
3 or 4
know.
are equal? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So cool.
All right.
Thank you.
And that was After Pablo by Nate.